Let's journey back to those golden days when wish books arrived by mail. Television stations signed off with patriotic music, and Grandma's furniture wore protective plastic armor. In this nostalgic adventure, we'll rediscover countless familiar moments guaranteed to awaken treasured memories. So, settle in, make yourself comfortable, and savor this heartwarming journey.
This is my new Chevy wagon with flip-down seats, the 74 Caprice Estate. And this? Well, she's my mother.
Station wagons. Those days, the family automobile represented far more than simple transportation. It served as our mobile adventure zone. Those enormous station wagons accommodated entire neighborhoods of children, and safety belts remained optional suggestions. Claiming territory in the rear cargo area, whether wagon or pickup truck, marked a childhood milestone. We entertained ourselves with games, observed trailing vehicles, and occasionally performed elaborate comedy shows for fellow travelers. Sometimes we'd simply gaze through windows as captivating scenery unfolded like personal movies. No climate control systems, no electronic distractions, just rolled down windows, rushing air through our hair, and that intoxicating sensation of boundless freedom stretching endlessly ahead. Trading stamps, green stamps and blue chip. Remember those colorful trading stamps that transformed mundane errands into treasure hunts? We cherished the ritual of moistening each stamp and carefully positioning them into collection booklets, watching each completed page bring us closer to something wonderful. S&H green stamps and blue chip dominated the landscape, distributed generously at grocery stores, filling stations and department stores across America. Somehow, families accumulated enough stamps to exchange them for everything from kitchen appliances to outdoor furniture. The business model remains mysterious even today. How did giving away merchandise for free stamps generate profit? If you still possess something obtained through trading stamps, share your story in the comments below.
Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
How the national anthem marked TV's nightly close. Television stations operated on civilized schedules back then, unlike today's endless broadcasting marathons. Around 10 o'clock each evening, they'd ceremoniously conclude their programming, often displaying geometric test patterns on darkened screens. Before surrendering to static, they'd broadcast our national anthem as a respectful conclusion to the broadcast day. This created a peaceful moment signaling day's end for families nationwide. Networks also reminded parents with that memorable phrase, "It's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children are?" These gentle traditions transformed bedtime routines into meaningful rituals that modern television has completely abandoned. Catalogs. Sears and J.C. Penney. Mail-order catalogs represented seasonal celebrations arriving in thick packages that promised endless possibilities. Families spent countless hours examining pages overflowing with toys, clothing, and household treasures that sparked imagination and desire. Christmas catalogs from retail giants like Sears and J.C. Penney became sacred texts in American homes. Children would carefully circle favorite items with colored pencils, creating detailed wish lists and dreaming about potential Christmas morning surprises. This ritual extended far beyond mere shopping. It represented a beloved holiday tradition that built anticipation and excitement weeks before actual gift-giving began. VHS movie nights. Enjoying movies at home required elaborate preparation and technical expertise that today's streaming generation cannot comprehend. You'd switch television inputs to Channel 3, insert bulky VHS cassettes, and pray that previous renters had remembered to rewind completely. Many families initially rented VCR machines along with movies, since ownership remained expensive. Video rental establishments became Friday evening destinations featuring endless rows of plastic cases and that distinctive new tape aroma that movie enthusiasts recognized instantly. Nothing compared compared to that thrilling anticipation of carrying home multiple movie selections for perfect weekend entertainment marathons. Car keys. Automobile keys maintained elegant simplicity compared to today's computerized remote systems. We carried two distinct keys, one circular key for door locks and one square key for ignition systems. Darkness always meant fumbling through keychains, searching for the correct key shape by touch alone. Without electronic key fobs, accessing vehicles required physical proximity and manual dexterity. Losing a single key never meant replacing expensive computer chips or reprogramming security systems. Simple duplication at neighborhood hardware stores solved most problems with basic craftsmanship and reasonable pricing. Bikes and summer fun. Summer adventures centered around bicycle expeditions that continued until streetlights flickered on across neighborhoods. Those illuminated signals marked universal curfew time, calling children home from their daily explorations. Safety helmets remained unknown, mobile phones didn't exist, just pure neighborhood freedom and warming sunshine across our faces. We'd race competitively, explore mysterious territories, and sometimes cruise leisurely while absorbing every precious moment before dinner announcements echoed from front porches. Bicycles represented much more than transportation methods. They served as tickets to unlimited adventure and childhood independence. Phone books, yellow pages, and white pages. Before smartphones revolutionized information access, every household maintained massive telephone directories that served as community databases. Yellow pages helped locate local businesses, including restaurants and repair services, while white pages listed residential telephone numbers for entire cities and surrounding areas. Most families memorized important numbers or maintained handwritten lists near telephone stations. Some residents paid additional fees to keep their information private and unlisted. Those thick books represented essential tools for daily communication and business connections throughout entire communities. Plastic covers on the furniture. The unmistakable sensation of plastic furniture protection remains etched in collective memory for countless families. These clear coverings appeared frequently in grandmothers' homes, designed to preserve sofas and chairs in pristine condition indefinitely. During summer months, they'd adhere stubbornly to exposed skin and clothing. Cold weather brought crackling symphony sounds with every movement or position change. Sitting required careful consideration, as that peculiar combination of sticky adherence and crunchy audio effects announced your presence. Those protective barriers defined living room experiences and became integral elements of home decoration throughout entire decades. Children's books, Little Golden Books. Little Golden Books shaped childhood literacy experiences for multiple generations of American families. Parents frequently read these treasured stories during bedtime routines, creating special bonding moments that children remembered throughout their lives. Every store visit included predictable requests. "Can I please have a book, Mom?" Personal favorites included timeless classics like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and countless other magical tales. These weren't simply children's stories. They served as portals to imaginative worlds that remained vivid and meaningful long after final pages were turned and books were shelved. Saturday morning commercials.
I'm so hungry, I could eat a wagon wheel. When I'm slow on the draw and I need something to chaw.
Saturday morning cartoon programming featured the most vibrant and persuasive advertisements specifically targeting young audiences. These commercial breaks presented whirlwind displays of colorful toys and tempting snacks that made every child's imagination race with possibilities and desires. Interestingly, those brief interruptions were intentionally designed to help children distinguish between entertainment content content and advertising messages. People genuinely concerned themselves with media literacy during that era. Despite educational intentions, most children simply felt annoyed, wishing they could enjoy uninterrupted cartoon entertainment without commercial delays. G.I. Joe. For countless children, G.I. Joe transcended simple toy status and became daily adventure companions. These detailed action figures played central roles in childhood development, inspiring endless hours of creative and imaginative play scenarios. With numerous accessory sets and vehicles available, children orchestrated elaborate battles and daring rescue missions throughout living room territories. G.I. Joe genuinely stimulated imagination and creativity, transforming ordinary playtime into epic storytelling experiences. This represented far more than a successful toy line. It created entire universes that captured children's attention and encouraged narrative thinking skills. Metal lunch boxes. Metal lunch containers decorated with beloved television and movie characters became iconic symbols of school culture and midday meal traditions. Whether featuring Star Wars imagery or Ghostbusters graphics, these containers represented much more than simple food storage. They made personal statements about individual preferences and cultural affiliations. Carrying distinctive lunch boxes provided confidence and readiness for whatever academic challenges each school day might present. These weren't merely practical necessities. They served as treasured possessions and daily reminders of popular culture that accompanied students through their educational journeys. Typing class.
Look on the typist desks, and most typing you'll see is ordinary copy typing, the kind that's taught in school.
Before computer literacy became essential, typing instruction represented crucial educational milestones for students across America. Learning proper techniques on loud, mechanical typewriters presented significant challenges requiring concentration, coordination, and patience. Students focused intensely while attempting to strike correct keys without looking downward. The rhythmic clatter and satisfying bell sounds of carriage returns created unique classroom atmospheres. These skills felt less like preparation for office work and more like mastering complex musical instruments. This foundation seamlessly transitioned to computer keyboard proficiency that students use daily in modern educational and professional environments. Retro movie planning. Before internet accessibility, discovering movie showtimes required additional effort and planning that younger generations cannot imagine. You'd either examine newspaper entertainment sections carefully or telephone theater numbers to hear recorded messages listing current showtimes and ticket information. This represented a small but meaningful ritual, waiting patiently to hear familiar voices before planning special evening entertainment. Attending movies felt like significant events worth celebrating. Fresh popcorn, enormous screens, and sharing excitement with friends or family members created memorable experiences that required advanced preparation and anticipation. Gas stations. Gasoline station visits provided completely different experiences during that era. Many locations offered full-service treatment, where uniformed attendants would approach vehicles, fill tanks completely, check fluid levels, and clean windshields thoroughly while customers remained comfortably seated. These represented small luxuries that made every stop feel somewhat special and personalized. Visits weren't simply about fuel purchases. They provided opportunities to stretch muscles, engage in brief conversations, and experience attentive customer service. Those personal touches enhanced every road trip and daily commute with human connection and professional care. Film projectors in classrooms. Classroom environments included the familiar flickering and mechanical humming of film projection equipment as routine educational tools. Teachers manually threaded celluloid film and adjusted equipment settings, while that distinctive clicking sound filled learning spaces, audio that every student recognized immediately. Usually, volunteer students were selected to advance film reels by turning manual controls, which occasionally created entertaining technical difficulties and classroom disruptions. These small interruptions interruptions somehow enhanced the entire educational experience and created more memorable learning moments for students and teachers alike. Macrame craft projects appeared everywhere throughout home decoration schemes. Plant hangers, wall decorations, and room dividers were created through endless knot-tying techniques and extraordinary patience. Somehow, owl motifs appeared frequently in these designs, watching silently from their positions on walls and in corners. These handcrafted decorations simply represented normal home decor elements that appeared in nearly every living room and hallway throughout American households. The intricate patterns and natural materials created warm, organic atmospheres that defined interior design aesthetics for entire decades. TV antennas, rabbit ears, television reception required constant adjustment of those distinctive metal antenna systems perched atop every television set. Weekend cartoon viewing often began with static-filled screens resembling indoor blizzard instead of clear programming. The solution involved carefully positioning those magnificent metallic contraptions known affectionately as rabbit ears. Sometimes basic antenna positioning wasn't sufficient for optimal reception. That's when parents would appear with aluminum foil rolls, meticulously wrapping each antenna element like performing delicate surgery. Through mysterious technical magic, those foil-wrapped receivers would suddenly deliver crystal-clear images of popular game shows, explaining to modern children that clear television viewing required physical manipulation of metal rods wrapped in kitchen foil sounds completely fictional. We not only accepted these daily rituals, we mastered the precise angles needed for specific channels and protected our television tables from accidental bumps during important programs. Rotary dial telephones.
For example, suppose you want to dial 23650. Dial each numeral in this manner, pulling the dial around to the finger stop each time.
The most satisfying sound in telecommunications history remained the distinctive click-whir rhythm of rotary phone operation. Each number possessed unique timing and mechanical personality. Dialing 0 required patient commitment as the wheel completed its leisurely full rotation journey. Making mistakes on the 9th digit meant complete restart procedures. No backspace or correction options existed. Phone numbers containing multiple 8s and 9s represented genuine punishment, while numbers featuring mostly 1s and 2s provided luxurious convenience. Modern children touch screens and instantly connect with anyone worldwide. We planned telephone calls like military operations, manual typewriters. Typewriters demanded absolute precision and physical commitment that modern teenagers cannot comprehend. Every single letter required individual force application to appear on paper. Insufficient pressure produced nothing, while excessive force would puncture pages completely. The unmistakable sound announced serious productivity, sharp clack, 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 that declared someone was accomplishing important work. Margin bells provided gentle warnings that line endings approached, followed by satisfying K-chunk sounds when carriage return levers slammed typing positions back to beginning margins. Mistakes offered 3 correction options. Complete page retyping. No Control-Z existed in 1975. Every word represented commitment. Every sentence required faith in accuracy. This made writing feel more significant, permanent. Milk delivered in glass bottles. Here's something that would astound modern children. Food that appeared magically at homes without online ordering systems. Every few days, dairy delivery personnel would quietly place glass bottles on doorsteps like benevolent food fairies, complete with thick cream layers floating on top that siblings would compete to claim. The bottles themselves were artistic masterpieces, heavy, thick glass construction that survived concrete drops without breaking. Empty containers were rinsed and returned to porches for collection and reuse. Imagine explaining this sustainable system to generations raised on disposable everything. This system required complete trust and community cooperation, no security cameras, no package theft concerns, no contactless delivery notifications. Fresh dairy products sat safely on thousands of doorsteps across America, and somehow this honor system functioned perfectly. Delivery personnel knew family preferences, vacation schedules, and payment routines personally. Metal ice trays with levers. Every kitchen contained these torture devices disguised as convenient appliances. Metal ice cube trays required bodybuilder strength and saint-like patience for successful operation. After filling with water and overnight freezing, the ancient ice extraction ritual began with determination and hope. First, warm water was applied to tray bottoms, not too hot to melt precious ice, not too cold to accomplish nothing. Then came the critical moment, gripping metal levers and pulling with concrete cracking force. The explosive sound resembled kitchen earthquakes, crack, followed by ice cubes launching in every direction. Actual cube removal presented additional adventures. Sometimes they'd release perfectly, sometimes they'd stick like welded metal, and sometimes desperate tray smacking against counters would send frozen projectiles across entire kitchens like miniature missiles. Modern children press buttons and ice falls out automatically. We earned every cube through blood, sweat, and occasional bandages on our fingers. Somehow that ice tasted superior because we'd worked for it through physical effort and mechanical combat. 8-track tapes. Musical torture devices disguised as entertainment systems, these massive cartridges appeared like inflated cassette tapes and maintained one primary function, playing music when they felt cooperative. Their unpredictability provided constant surprise and frustration for music enthusiasts across America. You'd insert cartridges into car stereos and experience weeks of perfect performance, or immediate tape consumption, creating brown ribbon chaos that required 20-minute pencil-winding repair sessions. The infamous K-chunk interruption occurred mid-song when tracks automatically switched, often destroying favorite guitar solos with 8-second gaps. Modern streaming kids cannot comprehend accepting musical interruptions as normal listening experiences. We loved our 8 tracks, despite their mechanical personality disorders. That substantial clicking sound when inserting players and satisfying weight that made music feel tangible and real created emotional connections that digital streaming cannot replicate. Wood panel station wagons without seatbelts. Picture this scenario for contemporary parents. Loading 6 children into rear cargo areas without car seats, seatbelts, or safety features beyond driver reflexes and hopeful prayers. The rear section, affectionately called the way back, functioned as carpeted cargo space where children rolled around like human luggage during transportation. These wood-paneled giants combined family transportation with mobile furniture concepts. Fake wood grain was supposed to create distinguished appearances, like attaching family room paneling to automotive chassis and driving the combination to grocery stores. Road trips meant children piling together, playing license plate games and fighting over window positions while traveling highway speeds with shopping cart safety standards. Modern children are secured in car seats until teenage years, surrounded by airbags, crumple zones, and backup cameras. We had vinyl seats, metal dashboard knobs, and understanding that emergency braking required grabbing something solid quickly. Party lines on phones. Privacy represented optional suggestions on party lines. The original social networks where multiple families shared identical phone lines. Picking up your phone might reveal Mrs. Henderson from down the street discussing her nephew's marital problems in detail. Etiquette rules were incredibly complex. Hearing voices meant quietly hanging up and waiting your turn patiently. Some people, and everyone knew their identities, would remain connected and eavesdrop on everyone's conversations like personal entertainment systems. Emergency calls required neighborhood negotiations. "Mrs. Johnson, I need to call the fire department. Can you please hang up?" This system somehow functioned well enough that most of America conducted telephone business this way for multiple decades. Explaining to smartphone-equipped kids that we shared phone lines with strangers who could and would monitor our conversations sounds like primitive surveillance descriptions, not typical Tuesday evening suburban communication reality. Slide projectors for vacation photos. Every family gathering included dreaded vacation slide viewing ceremonies. Parents would establish massive projectors that sounded like small aircraft engines, dim room lighting, and subject everyone to 200 Grand Canyon slides, each requiring individual commentary and extended observation. This is your mother standing by the gift shop. Click. This is your mother standing by the different gift shop. Click. This is identical rock formation from slightly different angle. Childhood soundtracks included mechanical ka-chunk sounds of slides advancing through agonizing image sequences. Modern kids cannot fathom experiences without fast-forward options, skipping abilities, or phone photo scrolling. You experienced every single slide in real time, in order, whether you wanted to or not. Upside down or backward slides stopped entire presentations while adults fixed technical problems. These forced family photo sessions somehow created lasting memories, not because slides entertained, but because everyone suffered through them together as shared community experiences that brought families closer through collective endurance. Clicker remotes without batteries. Original clicker remotes actually produced clicking sounds that television sets somehow understood through ultrasonic communication technology. These battery-free devices featured maybe 4 buttons and created distinct metallic tones for each television function. Each button possessed unique audio signatures like tiny xylophones that spoke television language. Click-click for channel changes, single clicks for volume adjustment, click-click-click for mysterious third-button functions that nobody understood but activated anyway just to observe results. Effective range extended approximately 6 feet on optimal days, assuming nobody crinkled potato chip bags or jingled keys, because metallic sounds would confuse television sets into random channel-changing behavior. Family rooms became acoustic battlegrounds where clicker holders wielded absolute power while everyone else maintained perfect silence during channel transitions. Library card catalogs. The original search engine consisted of wooden drawer walls filled with index cards containing location information for every book in library collections. Finding anything required alphabetical knowledge and approximately 20 minutes of patient searching through carefully organized filing systems. Each drawer bore letter range labels, Babi, Baibo, and contained hundreds of cards typed by librarians with extraordinary patience and attention to detail. You'd slide open drawers, flip through cards until finding desired books, then copy mysterious codes like 796.357 SMI onto paper slips. But those codes weren't actual book locations. They represented the beginning of treasure hunt expeditions. You'd take numbers to completely different library sections and decode organizational systems that some genius named Dewey had invented for universal library management. Modern kids type book titles into phones and instantly know availability status. We conducted research expeditions requiring map-reading skills, physical stamina, and occasionally librarian assistance when we'd wandered through stacks for 30 minutes, searching for one specific publication. Record players with stacked vinyl. Record players weren't simply music machines. They were precision instruments that automatically dropped fresh albums onto turntables like musical vending machines with remarkable mechanical sophistication. You'd stack 5 or 6 albums on metal spindles, and when one finished playing, the next would automatically drop and begin without human intervention. The sound quality depended entirely on needle condition, which wore out and required replacement like expensive automotive parts. Dull needles made new albums sound like sandpaper playback, while sharp needles could make even scratched records sing with crystal clarity. Every album included massive covers that were artistic masterpieces in themselves. You'd study every detail while music played, reading liner notes and memorizing band member names completely. Modern kids stream infinite music, but miss tangible connections between visual artwork and audio experiences. Sewing kits in cookie tins. Universal childhood trauma occurred when reaching for apparent cookie containers, only to discover them filled with needles, thread, and tiny scissors instead of delicious treats. This wasn't simple disappointment. It represented betrayal by the snack food industry and domestic repurposing practices. Every grandmother, mother, and aunt had appropriated these metal tins for sewing supply storage. Danish cookie companies probably sold more containers than actual cookies, creating entire generations of children who approached cookie tins with justified suspicion and careful investigation. The tins were perfect for sewing organization: multiple compartments, durable metal construction, and satisfying pop sounds when opening lids. But they were also perfect for crushing dreams of hungry children who thought they'd discovered hidden snack treasures. Explaining to modern kids that we reused food containers for completely different purposes makes them wonder why we didn't purchase proper storage solutions. The concept of repurposing items beyond original intentions has become as foreign as the actual sewing skills those tins were meant to organize. If you enjoyed this nostalgic journey, please subscribe so you won't miss future memory lane adventures. I'd love to hear your personal memories. Drop comments below sharing which moments resonate most strongly with your own childhood experiences.